You are the master of your fate. Let's begin. Do you ever feel a cold dread when you look at your life? The sickening feeling that everyone else is ahead and you're falling behind? You check your phone, you see their progress, and you feel it, a knot of shame in the pit of your stomach. You tell yourself you're late, that you missed your chance, that the best years are already behind you. You feel lost, stuck, and you keep waiting for a sign. I'm here to tell you something you need to hear, and you need to hear it from me. You are not late. You are not lost. You have not wasted your time. The idea that you are behind is an illusion, a lie your own mind has been telling you, fueled by fear and comparison. And this lie has been holding you captive. In this lesson, I'm going to show you the truth about the timeline you've been living on. I will expose the real cost of this mental prison and prove to you, with the stories of men far greater than I, that your greatest success is still ahead of you. Before we are finished, I am going to give you a set of simple, unbreakable commands that will not only break the cycle of self-doubt, but will put you on a path of definite, unstoppable progress, starting today. Your time is not a resource to be wasted. It is a material to be shaped. The time for shaping it begins now. The human mind is a peculiar thing. It can build empires, compose symphonies, and travel to the moon, yet it will still fall for the most basic of traps. The most dangerous of these traps is what I call the invisible deadlines. It is the clock you hear ticking in your mind, but which has no hands. It is the imagined timeline for when you should have had the house, the family, the fortune, the car. It is the voice that whispers, "You should be a director by now," or "Your business should have been profitable years ago." Let me be clear, this deadline is a fabrication. It does not exist in any law of the universe. It is a tool of fear, forged in the fires of society and comparison, and wielded by the part of your mind that wishes to keep you small and safe. It is the devil's most effective weapon, for it convinces you that the fight is over before you have even begun. I have seen it paralyze great men and women. I have seen it stop a brilliant inventor from starting his work in his 50s because he believed it was too late. I have seen it crush the spirit of a young woman who was destined for greatness because she felt her peers were already married and settled. When you allow this invisible deadline to dictate your life, you are not living. You are simply reacting to a fantasy. You are running a race against an imaginary opponent on a track that leads nowhere. The feeling of being behind is not a sign that you are on the wrong path. It is a sign that you are listening to the wrong voice. It is the sound of your own mind, trying to talk you out of your greatness before you have had the courage to claim it. You must stop listening to that voice. The first step to reclaiming your time is to understand that the only real deadline is the one you failed to set for yourself. And the only thing you are truly late for is the moment you decide to take control. The first step is to silence the invisible clock. The next is to stop counting another man's fortune. When I was a young man, I spent many years in the company of the greatest minds of my time: Andrew Carnegie, Thomas Edison, Henry Ford. They were my partners and my teachers. And one thing I learned from watching them was this: they never wasted their energy counting another man's money. They were too busy building their own. Your mind, my friend, is like a garden. You can either tend to your own soil, plant your own seeds, and watch your own harvest grow, or you can spend all your time staring over the fence, admiring your neighbor's plot. What happens when you do that? You become bitter, you feel jealousy, and your own garden, with its unplanted seeds and untended soil, begins to wither and die. This is the true cost of comparison. It is not just the feeling of being behind, it is the active, deliberate neglect of your own potential. Every moment you spend scrolling through the highlight reel of another person's life, you are draining the precious energy you need to build your own. I once knew a man who was filled with great ambition. He had a definite aim, a noble purpose, and he spoke of it with great fire. But he was also obsessed with the success of a friend who had started a similar business a few years before him. He would talk constantly about his friend's accomplishments, his friend's new clients, his friend's growing team. He spent so much time admiring his friend's garden that he never bothered to plant his own seeds. He was so busy comparing his beginning to his friend's middle that he never even got his own beginning off the ground. You cannot build your fortune while you're busy counting another man's. The energy you are spending on envy and comparison is the exact same energy you need to fuel your own definite purpose. The only true measure of your progress is the distance between where you are today and where you were yesterday, and that is a measurement that only you can make. The work you must do now is to tend to your own garden, shut out the noise, turn your focus inward, and dedicate every ounce of your mental energy to building the life you are meant to live. The time for admiration is over. The time for creation has begun. Your life is not a race against the world. It is a journey to find yourself. It is a slow, deliberate climb to a summit that only you can see. The feeling that you are behind is only possible if you believe you are running a race with a starting gun and a finish line everyone else can see. But this is not a relay. You are not holding a baton meant for another man. You are the sole runner in your own marathon. The pace is your own. The milestones are your own. The victory is your own. I will tell you a secret I learned from some of the most powerful minds in history. The greatest success often arrives not when you are young and full of fire, but when you are older, tempered by wisdom and seasoned by failure. The years you believe you have wasted were not wasted at all. They were a period of incubation. They were the years you spent building the character, the resilience, and the inner fire that you will need for the greatness that is still to come. Imagine a block of marble. A sculptor does not simply hit it with a hammer and expect a masterpiece. He spends days, weeks, months, even years studying it. He feels its weight, he traces its flaws, he imagines what is inside. Only after this long period of preparation does he begin to chip away with purpose. And the result is not a rushed statue, but an immortal work of art. You, my friend, are that block of marble. The years you spent feeling lost or confused or behind were not wasted. They were the years the universe spent preparing you. They were the years you were being forged in the crucible of experience. What matters now is not when you start, but that you become definite in what you want, and that you begin to move daily with purpose and without fear. The race you believe you are in does not exist. The only true competition is with the person you were yesterday, and you have all the time in the world to win that race. Your life is not a race. It is a creation, and the time for you to begin your work is right now. The world loves to celebrate the prodigy. It loves the story of the young genius who struck gold before his 20th year. It makes for a good headline, but it is a poor lesson. The truth, the eternal truth I learned from the greatest achievers in history is this: success is often a story of a late arrival, forged not by youth, but by persistence. I want you to think of a name you know, a name so famous it has become a monument to American grit, Abraham Lincoln's. Do you know what he was doing in his 30s? He failed in business. He lost his first love. He had a nervous breakdown. For decades, he was a man who seemed to be a master of nothing but failure. The world would have called him behind, but every single one of those failures, every painful loss, every single year he spent feeling lost was not wasted. It was a preparation. It was the training for the man who would one day be asked to hold a fractured nation together. His greatest purpose did not come early. It came exactly when it needed to, after he had paid the full price of experience. And what about my old friend Thomas Edison? He did not invent the light bulb on his first try, or his 100th, or his 1000th. He failed thousands of times. The average man would have thrown his hands up and said, "I'm behind. I've wasted too much time." But Edison saw something different. He once told me, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." He did not become the world's greatest inventor overnight. He became a master of patience and a student of his own failures. You see, the years you feel you've lost are the years you are acquiring something priceless: wisdom. The lessons learned in the fire of failure are worth more than any quick victory. These are the lessons that build character. These are the lessons that fortify your faith. So stop measuring yourself against a timeline that does not exist. Measure yourself against the man you were yesterday. The late start is not a disadvantage. It is a sign that you are being prepared for something that requires more than youthful ambition. It requires the deep, hard-earned strength of a soul that has been tested. And that is a strength you now possess. The feeling of being behind is the enemy. But what is the tool to defeat it? What is the weapon you wield to silence the invisible clock and stop the endless comparison? The answer is definiteness of purpose. I have said it before, and I will say it again. A definite purpose is the starting point of all achievement. It is the master key that unlocks every door to success. But you must understand what it truly is. It is not a casual wish. It is not a vague hope. It is a burning, white-hot desire so intense that it consumes every doubt and every fear. A man without a definite purpose is like a ship without a rudder. He drifts. He is at the mercy of every current and every storm. He may feel like he is moving, but he is going nowhere. He is the man who wakes up feeling behind because he has never chosen a destination. But a man with a definite purpose knows exactly where he is going. He charts his course. He sets his sails. And when the storms come, he does not panic. He adjusts. He may be blown off course, but he knows where he is going, and he always finds his way back. Your definite purpose is a decision. It is a declaration. It is a vow you make to yourself and to the universe. It is the moment you stop being a passenger in your own life and become the captain of your own destiny. And let me tell you this, the universe does not care about your age. It does not care about your past failures. It only responds to the power of a definite, unwavering command. The moment you become definite, the moment you decide with an iron will what you want and how you will get it, the entire world begins to move in your favor. It will send you the people, the resources, and the opportunities you need to make it a reality. The first step to escaping the feeling of being behind is to pick your destination. You cannot win a race you haven't entered. Today, you must enter the race for your own future. You must decide with absolute certainty what you want. Your mind is a field, and your thoughts are the seeds. If you have spent years planting seeds of doubt, fear, and comparison, you cannot be surprised when your harvest is a crop of anxiety. The feeling of being behind is not a fact, it is a habit of thought, and like any habit, it can be broken. I learned from some of the great thinkers of my day that the most powerful force in the universe is not money or muscle. It is the subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind does not care about your age. It does not care about your past failures. It only responds to the commands you feed it, over and over again. If you have spent your life telling yourself, "I'm behind," your subconscious mind has simply been obeying the command. It has been creating circumstances and attracting experiences that reinforce that belief. The only way to reverse this is through conscious, deliberate repetition. You must flood your mind with a new command, a new identity. I want you to create an inner script, a simple, powerful statement of truth that you will repeat to yourself every single morning when you wake up and every single night before you go to sleep. Do not say it once. Do not say it when you feel like it. Say it with the same discipline you use to breathe. Your inner script must be a definite, positive affirmation of who you are and what you are doing. It must be so powerful that it leaves no room for the old tired story of being behind. I suggest you begin with this: I was never behind. I was simply waiting to decide. But now I move, daily, with purpose, and without fear. This is not some parlor trick of positive thinking. This is the act of rewiring your mental engine. This is how you take back control of your mind, your timeline, and your destiny. The repetition of this truth, spoken with unwavering faith, will become the new soil in which your future is grown. A definite purpose is a powerful thing. A repeated mental command is an unstoppable force, but they are worthless without a bridge. And that bridge, my friend, is action. A man with a definite purpose but no plan is a dreamer. A man with a definite purpose and a plan but no action is a distracted fool. The feeling of being behind is not born from a lack of desire. It is born from the gap between what you want and what you are willing to do. Many people confuse motion with action. They are busy. They read books. They watch videos like this one. They attend seminars. They talk about their goals, but they never actually do the work. They are a ship sailing in circles, making a great show of activity without ever moving closer to their destination. Let me tell you something I have seen repeated in the lives of every successful person I have ever known. They were not born with a special talent for success. They were born with a habit of daily motion. They were not just thinkers, they were builders. They understood that the universe does not reward wishes, it rewards work. The truth is, you do not need a perfect plan. You do not need to know the entire path from where you are to where you want to be. You simply need to know the next step, and you need to take it. The greatest difference between those who feel in control of their lives and those who feel behind is not talent. It is the habit of consistent daily motion. The smallest action, taken daily, will eventually carry you to the summit. But the most brilliant plan, left to gather dust in your mind, will leave you exactly where you are today. Your mind is now being prepared for greatness. But your hands, your feet, your very being must follow your mind's command. The time for thinking is over. The time for doing has come, and it begins with one simple step. I have seen countless men with a burning desire and a definite purpose who still fail. Do you know why? Because they were not willing to pay the price. There is a fundamental law that governs all achievement. It is a law as immutable as the pull of gravity. I call it the law of equivalent exchange. For every great reward you seek, you must be willing to pay an equal and proportional price in effort, discipline, and perseverance. Nothing is given for nothing. The universe is a perfect accountant. It does not hand out rewards based on your potential. It delivers them based on your contribution. The feeling of being behind is often a symptom of an unwillingness to pay the price. We want the result without the work. We want the harvest without the planting. We want the victory without the battle. The man who truly succeeds understands this law. He knows that his dream is a contract, and he knows that every day he works on it, he is making a down payment. He understands that the price of success is not a one-time fee. It is a daily installment. I want you to be honest with yourself. Have you been waiting for a miracle? Have you been hoping that a great opportunity would simply fall into your lap? Have you been expecting a result you have not yet earned? There is no shame in this, but there is a great cost. The longer you wait, the longer you remain in the prison of I'm behind. The good news is that you are not powerless. You hold the currency of effort in your own hands. You have the ability right now to begin paying your debt to your own future. You can begin building the life you want, brick by brick, with your own two hands. This is not a message of punishment. It is a message of empowerment. You do not need luck. You do not need a handout. You simply need to become a man who pays his debts. You need to become a man who understands that the price is the work, and the reward is the consequence. The payment begins with your next breath. When you feel you are behind, it is a very lonely place. The mind tells you that you are alone in your failure, that everyone else has a secret you do not. This is a lie. The greatest men who ever lived understood that a man cannot build an empire alone. He must build it with a team. This is the mastermind principle. It is the coordination of knowledge and effort and a spirit of harmony between two or more people for the attainment of a definite purpose. In simple terms, it means surrounding yourself with people who believe in your dream, who hold you accountable, and who push you to be better. Let me be clear. A mastermind is not a group of friends who tell you what you want to hear. A mastermind is a group of allies who will tell you what you need to hear. They will challenge your excuses. They will shine a light on your blind spots, and they will remind you of your purpose when your own faith begins to waver. When you feel you are behind, the feeling is often one of isolation. It is the belief that you are on an island. A mastermind is the bridge off that island. It is the collective intelligence that will give you new ideas, the collective strength that will give you momentum, and the collective faith that will keep you from quitting. I learned this from Andrew Carnegie. He did not build his steel empire alone. He surrounded himself with a group of brilliant men, his mastermind alliance, who each brought a unique skill and an unwavering dedication to the goal. He was not afraid to surround himself with men who were smarter than he was in certain areas. He understood that his greatest power was not in his own mind, but in the combined power of all their minds. Do not try to climb this mountain alone. You have a definite purpose. Now you must build your army. You must seek out those who are also on a path of purpose. They are the ones who will understand the long journey. They are the ones who will celebrate your small victories and hold you up during your inevitable defeats. They are the ones who will help you find the momentum to finally get ahead. Your definite purpose is your destination. Your mastermind is your vehicle. The time to begin building it is now. My friend, you have heard my words. You have felt the truth of them. You understand that the feeling of being behind is a lie. But understanding is not enough. Understanding is the seed. Action is the soil. The time for waiting is over. The time for dreaming is over. The time for being a passenger in your own life is over. Now you must become the pilot. I am giving you a command. This is your assignment. It will take you no more than 10 minutes. And it will be the most important 10 minutes of your life. First, you must stop looking at your life as a collection of failures and start seeing it as a project. And a project, no matter how grand, begins with a blueprint. Assignment Part 1, the blueprint. I want you to take a piece of paper or open a fresh document. At the very top, I want you to write this phrase, my definite purpose. And then, in 1 or 2 sentences, I want you to write down, with absolute clarity, the one thing you want more than anything else. Do not hold back. Do not be vague. Do not ask for what you think you can get. Ask for what you truly desire. Assignment, Part 2, the first brick. Once you have written down your definite purpose, I want you to write down one single solitary action you can take today to move toward it. This action does not have to be big. It does not have to be difficult. It only has to be a step forward. It could be a phone call. It could be an email. It could be 5 minutes of research. It could be cleaning your desk. Your mission, once you have identified this action, is to perform it. You will not wait until tomorrow. You will not wait for a sign. You will not wait until you feel ready. You will do it today. This is how you take back control of your timeline. This is how you silence the invisible clock. This is how you begin to build your future, brick by brick, with your own 2 hands. The work begins now. Your moment is here, and your destiny is calling you forward. Listen to me and listen closely. The greatest crime you can commit is to live a life you did not choose for yourself, and the feeling that you are behind is nothing more than a trick of the mind designed to convince you that this is your fate. But it is not. You are not late. You are not lost. You are simply in a period of incubation, a period of preparation. The years you believe you have wasted were the years you were being forged into the person you are today, a person with the strength, the wisdom, and the iron will to finally claim their destiny. The clock only truly stops when you surrender to the lie. The moment you take control, the moment you decide with absolute certainty what you want and how you will get it, the entire world will begin to conspire in your favor. Your moment is not tomorrow. Your moment is not next week. Your moment is now. Go forth, be definite, and be unstoppable. Key takeaways. The feeling of being behind is an illusion, a lie fueled by fear and comparison, and it has no real power over you. Your life is not a linear race. It is a creative project, and the years you feel you've wasted were years spent in preparation. The single most powerful tool to overcome this feeling is definiteness of purpose, a burning desire to achieve a specific goal. Your subconscious mind will respond to the commands you feed it. Repetition of a new, empowering belief is how you rewire your mind. Understanding is not enough. Success is built on the daily habit of taking deliberate, consistent action. The price of success is proportional to the reward. You must be willing to pay in effort and discipline. Surrounding yourself with a mastermind alliance is the key to building momentum and overcoming isolation. Action steps. 1. Write your definite purpose. On a piece of paper, write down the one thing you want more than anything else. Make it clear, specific, and non-negotiable. 2. Declare your new identity. Write down this command and say it to yourself, out loud, every morning and every night. I was never behind. I was simply waiting to decide. But now I move daily, with purpose and without fear. 3. Take your first step today. Identify one small, immediate action that moves you toward your definite purpose. It does not have to be big. It just has to be the first step, and you must do it before this day ends. Remember, Your success begins the moment you decide to act.